All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Ann Dunn, the Executive Director of Cat Town. Ann.
So I feel like this is one of those, which one of these is not like the others? Being amongst these amazing people who have been up here talking, I feel like I'm such a shy cat myself. But it's been so important to me to get out and advocate for these cats. I want to thank you, Dr. Michelson, the Michelson Found Animal Foundation, for what this Saving Pets Challenge meant to us as an organization. I started Cat Town when I was a volunteer at the Oakland shelter. I came into the shelter with my husband, who's here with me, after our two cats, Langston and Tea-Cake, died. And we were so bereft that we wanted to do something in their honor. The truth is, I didn't really want to volunteer at the shelter because I was so afraid of what I was going to experience there. I was so afraid of how depressed I was going to be, how powerless I was going to feel. What I found when I got there was an incredible agency that's incredibly under-resourced, really good people trying to do the right thing without the resources to do it. And the other piece that I saw is how misunderstood it was. And part of what inspired me to start Cat Town was being out and about, and people would say, "What do you do?" And I casually mentioned I volunteer at the shelter. And almost inevitably what I would hear is, "I will never go to the shelter. I will never go there because I think it's depressing, because it's run by the police department, and because I want to take everybody home." And Dr. Michelson, what you said, it was actually the very thing I was thinking about. Is I was thinking, what am I going to say? Is that idea that if I can't do everything, I'll do nothing. And if I can't have wholesale change, I won't participate. And the thing that we have done, which I think is so exciting, we have over 250 volunteers, and our whole mission is, it's about all of us. And I can't do this. I mean, I can bring a couple cats into my house. You can bring a couple cats into your house. If we all bring a couple cats into our homes, we can solve this problem. And one of the pieces that I saw at the shelter again and again is people who would come in with a carrier, really excited to adopt, and they'd walk and they'd see cage after cage after cage and get depressed. And they'd start to think, if I bring him home, it means I'm not bringing any of these other cats home, and they'd leave empty-handed. And I was saying, just take one. None of these cats want to all go home with you, just take one. And so what you saw with Cat Town, with the Cat Cafe, is for me a dream realized, which is, how do we get the cats out of the shelter into an environment where they feel safe and people see the real cat? Because that was the other piece for me when I came up with the idea to start this rescue. And I talked to the shelter director, who's very progressive, very wonderful, very compassionate. And I said, I want to start a rescue to save the adoptable cats that are being killed here. And she said, there are no adoptable cats being killed here. The cats that are being killed are difficult, they're aggressive. She basically said, knock yourself out. If you want to try, I'll support you, but you'll see that nobody wants these cats. And I thought, that doesn't make sense to me, because I'm just one person, and if I'm in front of a cat who's shut down, who's growling, and I feel compassion and I want to bring that cat home, I know I can't be the only one. So I feel like the biggest thing that we did when we started is we believed in our community, and we believed that all what we needed to do is to make it easy to help. And so our unofficial tagline is save a shelter cat without going to the shelter, not because we don't want people to go to the shelter, because an integral part of what we do is supporting our shelter. We work in really close collaboration with the shelter, and we want people to support the shelter. But if you're not going to go, let us let you help in a different way. So we started about 5.5 years ago with a foster program. We focused only on cats who would otherwise be euthanized, cats who bite, cats who are sick, cats who are old, cats who are shy. We got them into an environment where they felt safe, where potential adopters could meet them in their foster home, and we got them adopted. And the more we did it, the more confident we became. And since we started about 5.5 years ago, we've helped over 1,500 cats. We've reduced the euthanasia rate. this is the real part. We reduced the euthanasia rate from 42% to 7%. And our dream from the beginning is not just to save cats in Oakland, but to show that these cats are adoptable and to show other people how to do the same thing. So one of the exciting things for me about the cafe is not just that we doubled our adoption rate in a single year, but that we're contacted almost every single day by other rescue groups who say, how do we do the same thing? What we're going to do with the money that we were able to raise from the Saving Pets Challenge is our next wave, which is opening an adoption center for the hardest to place cats. So creating a center where the cats feel safe. One of our biggest pieces that we do is what we call our Forgotten Kitten Project, is kittens that come into the shelter 3, 4, 5, 6 months old who have never been handled, who I was told are, there's nothing you can do but either release them or kill them. And I thought that doesn't make sense to me. They're young, vibrant animals, and they've got to have the capacity to grow and change. And so through the cafe, what you saw, I don't know if this image would even stick with you, but the very first cat that you saw was Sunday, who came into the shelter in a trap. She was 6 months old. She was in the shelter for 3 months. Nobody could get anywhere near her. We got her into a foster home. She stayed there for 3 months and hid under a chair and made absolutely no progress. So we brought her to the cafe. All we did is we put her in the presence of confident cats and we let her learn from them. And just yesterday I was in the cafe and for the first time I saw her jump on somebody's lap. She's an utterly transformed cat. So I just can't underscore for a tiny organization like us what these resources mean. To be able to finally be in a position where we've created the structure, we have community credibility, people want to help, but the only thing that stands between us and really being able to solve this problem is resources. And how we did this, and I think what was possible is to inspire the people who are part of our organization to reach out to their community and say why this work is so important to them, and the transformation that they've seen. And so sharing the stories of Sunday and other cats like Birdie, who did not seem adoptable in the shelter, but all we did was get her out and help her feel safe. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the support.